Hello everybody, UB here, and today I'm going to talk about a drawing I did for somebody that I love for one of their tabletop RPG campaigns. So let's get started. This drawing was a little bit strange and particular. It was an 11-toothed cog, a ink pot, and a sword, and they all needed to look well worn and kind of scuffed up, you know. So I did a initial sketch in my sketchbook and sent them that sketch, and then I started drawing on the computer, and that's what I'm really going to show you here. I used a lot of geometry to try to get 11 teeth on this cog. It was tricky for sure to get the spacing right, and I'm still not 100% sure that I got it truly right, but at least there's 11 teeth on there, and later I applied some geometry to it to make it seem like it was kind of from an angle instead of dead on. So you'll see that in a little bit here, but I think that really helped with the issue of the geometry of it. It didn't have to be exactly perfect, but I think I was a little bit perfectionist about it anyway. You can see me here trying to do all of the outlines of the different items, and I did them all on separate layers to kind of keep everything so that I could figure out the composition, keep it separate. And for the sword, I actually asked for help from one of my nerd communities, Void Spiral, and it really pays to have friends that collect weird things when you're an artist, because you can ask them for reference photos. First, I went on Google to try and find reference photos for the angle of the sword that I wanted, but I wanted it to be laying on a table. I wanted to look at it from the point down to the hilt, and I couldn't find anything on Google that really fit that bill. So I asked my nerd community, Void Spiral, if anybody owned a sword that they'd be willing to take pictures of for me. And two people in particular came through. It was so great. I'm so grateful to both of them. I kind of traced one of them here to keep things simple. After that, I was able to kind of freehand an ink pot and a quill, and I think that turned out pretty good. I think it's a little more static than the other items are, but as you'll see when I get to coloring, it all turned out great in the end. I want to kind of talk about drawing on this channel for a hot minute. So obviously this channel is called UB Draws, and I will always keep drawing, don't panic. But the thing is, I've learned that I don't get all of my energy and the motivation and the love for art that I do out of just drawing. Just drawing is not an option for me, and it kind of pains me to say that, but as I said, I will keep drawing on the channel here and there whenever I have, say, a request or what have you. I will keep drawing, and obviously I'll keep drawing for sketches for the more 3D items that I create. But despite the fact that this is called UB Draws, drawing is not my specialty. It is not what I want to be doing all day, every day. I don't want to be doing commissions all the time, so it's a little bit tricky. But you'll see a drawing here and there, but more likely what you'll see from me going forward are, say, small sculptures, large projects, sewing, that sort of thing. And you've seen some of that from me before, but just keep in mind that this channel is not meant to be a teaching you how to do things channel, and in that regard, I am not a expert on digital drawing. In fact, I like traditional drawing a lot better because I'm more practiced in it and it comes more naturally to me. My medium of choice actually is Sharpies, which is weird. You wouldn't think that you could get a lot of shading or details out of Sharpies, but if you play with them long enough, you really can. And I used to do Sharpie portraits and that sort of thing in high school, and I really enjoyed that, which I might have to go back to, because every year I would do a self-portrait to kind of keep my skills up, and also to see the difference in how I see myself year over year, and I've missed the last year or two. So that is something that is on my list that you might see as a drawing here on the channel. It just might not be a digital drawing. I have to figure out with my filming setup how to set up a camera so that we can see what I'm drawing, and it's kind of tough because often I'll get in the zone and my head will get in the way of the camera. Once I get all of the colors kind of blocked out on these items, I was able to move on to the background and some of the stuff that I've learned about how things closer to the foreground are going to have more saturation really helped me sell the background of this, and I should have used desaturate a little bit more. I totally forgot before I called her a day. Basically, I drew all of this out in the true colors that I thought the different things would be. I used a very fuzzy brush because I wanted everything in the background to be blurry, and then I even used the blur tool to blur it out a little bit too. And then I used a rectangular marquee, a selection tool, and I made everything past the edge of the table less saturated, and that helped kind of sell the idea that that was in the background. And then I spent some time putting some dust in the air because it felt like if this is a dusty tavern, then if this is an old tavern, there's gonna be dust in the air, there's gonna be shadows on the table from that dust, etc., etc. And all of our light here is from lanterns. That kind of informed how I did this drawing. And if you have any questions about it, please throw them in the comments. I know I didn't talk about the drawing itself a whole lot, but I think the discussion about drawing on this channel is worth having. With all that being said, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. You get 1,000 experience points just for that. How cool is that, right? I do have a shop open now where you can buy stickers that are XP bars. All of them are 1,000 experience points because that's what I give at the end of my videos. So check out in the description. I'm going to leave a link to my shop down there. Thank you so much to my patrons, Mark, Nathaniel, Twyla, and Liam. They support the channel, so thank you again, all 4 of you. For the rest of you, don't forget to drink some water, and I will talk to you again soon. Peace!